All right, thank you for staying with us. We'll move on now to this part of the show. I have a very special guest in the house. For lovers of domestic football, you have to cast your mind back to the 1990s and also cast your mind back to Unwanyawu National of Owerri. That's what they used to call them in those days. They had a lanky forward who was just banging in the goals with reckless abandon. But he's a different looking person right now. My guest on Sports Tonight for the next few minutes is Tony Nwigwe. And if you don't take a good look at him, you won't remember that's the same guy that was deadly on the pitch. But Tony is with us on Sports Tonight this Friday. Tony, we're happy to have you on Sports Tonight. You've not been around. You've not been in Nigeria. You've been in the UK for a while now. When you left Nwigwe National.
Yes, I've been quite shopping around the world. That's how I put it. But I now live in the UK though, because I've spent more of my life there ever since I stopped playing. So it's nice to be back home though.
I would like to have more of you come back to contribute to the game.
Yeah, well, it's because of it's been hectic. We still keep abreast to what's happening here. We, like you rightly know, we sometimes have these conversations over the phones and all the rest, but we have our own program in ABC Sports on Ben Television. So, and we've been keeping tabs of what's happening in the Nigerian League, and we're just hoping that things would change again for the better in order for it to come back to the good, glory old days that it used to.
When you used to play?
Yes.
I used to park and jam the stadium at Danayam. All right, but let's start with this one. I mean, Keshi, you were in the national team. A lot of the players who were playing at home had an opportunity to play in the national team under Clemens Westhoff. You were one of them. Yeah. And I'm sure so many times you were in camp with Stephen Keshi under Clemens Westhoff. What's your reaction? Keshi passing on at the very unripe age of 54.
I think it's one of the saddest days in Nigerian football history that the day the news was broke and everybody has to hold his breath to say, is it true? It's quite unfortunate because what really happened that morning was that my sister was leaving out from work, and then all of a sudden my phone rang, and then she said, guess what? And I said, what? She said, Keshi's dead. I thought maybe it's one kind of a joke or something, but getting to filter the reality, because then I picked up my phone now, and then I started going through social media, and you could see everything was there, and it's a big sad loss for Nigeria, very, very big sad loss, because Keshi has been tremendous in terms of being a player, in terms of his coaching career, and what he has done for Nigerian football. So you cannot but, praise whatever that he's done for Nigerian football. I think he'll be sadly missed.
All right, let's come up now and talk about. Let's start with domestic football. In your days, I mean, I remember when Tony Nwigwe is coming to Onikon Stadium, for example, the stadium is filled to capacity. People want to watch you and all of that. Things are different now. Things are getting back. I mean, the league management company has been doing a lot of work in terms of organizing the teams, organizing officiating and all of that. But what do you want to see? As someone who is outside and you remember your playing days, what changes would you want to see so that the game can return to those days, glory days?
I think the first thing, first of all, is for us is the awareness, because I think the awareness, is gradually dying away because of the fact that we are now more construed in following the international
foreign leagues.
Yeah, you understand. So if you're discussing with somebody on the street, somebody who can tell you, name the names of Chelsea players, name the names of Man United, but he cannot name the names of the local club, which is just next door. So, and we need to find a way to be able to rekindle that idea back again into the society. I could remember when I was playing, in Nwigwe National. Every beginning of every season, what the fans look at is the back page of the newspaper to see who are the players that
joining the team.
So, and that alone shows you of the interest, because they follow players around the year to see, okay, this is a very good player, he's done well for this season, is why I'm going to get him. And once they see that Nwigwe has acquired that player, you see about 40, we have like 4,000 to 5,000 people turning up for training just to come and see the training. Then you can, of course, imagine what will happen on match day. You understand? So that is what we need to do. We can't to be honest with you. We can't compete with the international league. So what do? We need to work side by side with that in order for us to be able to carve out a way for our league to have that viewing, and at the same time, people can also have their other second viewing, which is the international league. Because if we want to par with them, that's what we're doing now. That's why you see majority of clubs not being able to get the full capacity in the stadium. And as a player, what gives you joy is when you come inside the field and the field is rocking. When it's rocking,
it inspires you.
It inspires you. So most of these players playing in an empty stadium, I will tell you, it's difficult for them, you know.
But although now night games, I mean, as you saw, we're gradually getting back 20,000 people to fill Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, but it's still something that we have to do on a more consistent basis so that the players can get back to that same level. Let's talk about the national team, Tony. Sadly, we are not going to the Nations Cup next year, but the World Cup qualifiers are ahead of us. What would you, I mean, if you had a chance to meet the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, for example, or some members of the NFF Executive Committee, what would you be telling them? What would you tell them to do to make sure we don't miss out on Russia 2018?
You know, first of all, we need to address one thing, and that is what we should address first of all is about the national team, and addressing that means that everybody has to come down and sit down on the table and agree a plan. Because when you have a plan, then you have a focus, then you can now execute that plan. But when you don't have a plan and you just wake up in the morning just to do things as it comes, then it's difficult.
You react to things.
Yeah, so you get to a jam, it becomes difficult because there's no plan towards that direction. So, first of all, we've lost the opportunity of going to the Nations Cup once again. We have the World Cup now in front of us. So the only thing now is that, first of all, we need to look for a coach.
Name a coach for the team.
Because first, that coach has to come and establish himself. Once he establishes himself as the coach, and then given the free hand to run the team. Once that is done, then we can now start looking for the players. And then the coaches now will in turn visit some of the players who are playing in all their leagues, especially in Europe. Because whether we like it or not, they will still make the backbone of the team.
Of course.
Before you bring in the new people. So you use that to make the backbone of the team, to get the team ready, and then move forward. The NFF should sit back now. All this interference, when Kechi was there, when the other coaches were there, should stop. There's too much interference from the officials to the national team. The national team, the coach runs the national team. He should be
the man in charge.
Yeah, he should be left to. Because if they fail, the brunt is on his head. So he should be left alone to run the team. What they should do is give him the necessary facilities to be able to give us the result. And what are those facilities? One, getting players on time for the coach, making sure that their training facilities are well equipped, making sure that the players get released from their club on time, far ahead of
and are well motivated to do the job for Nigeria.
So, and these players also you also tell the players, listen, right, you're wearing the national team. It's a pride to wear the national team. Sometimes when you wear the color of the jersey, you're on the pitch, you feel like as if you feel you're on top of the world. So you make the players aware that representing their country is a pride, and they should carry that pride to the greatest height. You understand? With that now, the coach is now left to now pick the team, make sure whatever tactics that he is employing for the team to play, it now suits our playing pattern and the national team. That brings us back again to the local league.
I'm gonna close this now, Tony, by asking you: are you gonna be watching games? Are you gonna be watching Atlant? Are you planning to go to Owerri?
Yes, I need to go to Owerri.
You have to watch games. You have to go see Atlant. They are now called Atlant. I'm sure you know. Are you planning to do some of their games?
Yes, of course. Because my main aim of coming back here is to come and see some of the local games. Like back in England, we're trying to present football. So we're trying as much as we can to be able to have a good standing pitches, good organization, you know, so that when you're selling the idea to somebody outside, you can be able to say, look at the clips, it's getting better. How can we progress this club sides?
All right, so that's Tony Nwigwe. Good to have him. He's still looking a little boyish, but you know, that was a long time ago when he used to score those goals for Nwigwe National. But we are happy to have him with us on Sports Tonight. But I hope that before you get back to the UK, maybe one of these days, when you're about going back, we'll bring you and ask you what you've seen in your visit to Owerri, to Heartland of Owerri. We have to wrap this up now. We'll go on a quick break. But let me also tell you that this weekend, the Flying Eagles are playing the second leg of the African Under-20 Championship against Burundi in Calabar. They have an away win from the first leg. They will be looking to consolidate and take out Burundi in the second leg and qualify for the next one. We wish Emmanuel Lamonike and his boys the very best of luck as they play in Calabar this weekend.